Welcome to Keeping Up with the Cardassians, your home for all kids' toys. What?
No, don't.
Oh.
Don't.
I'm Nick.
This is Rob.
This is Joe.
I realize how that would
I think I just saved us.
I think you did. I think we would have had to stop, delete, and re-record based off of what was going to happen. Because I didn't even realize what was going to happen until he got crazy about it.
We'll say it on Patreon.
This is a podcast where we focus on pop culture world.
Oh my
movies,
God.
TV shows, video games, music. Today we're focusing on
And if we let Nick go any further, grand juries.
That's not what I meant, though. Today we are focusing on Star Trek: The Next Generation. In fact, the next 7 seasons of Star Trek are going to be our focus, and we have been working our way through the first season. Today we're going to review 2 more episodes, Lonely Among Us and Justice, and that'll come in the second half of the show, which is about a half hour in. The first half, though, is where we like to catch up with what's going on in the world and what's going on with news and just talk about what kind of interests us. And sometimes if you call in or if you send text message in with topics, we will talk about those as well. So call in today.
734-494-0980. Yeah, call in. We'd love to talk about random stuff.
Yeah, we would.
Throw it at us.
Text us.
Text us.
And more.
Sext us.
No.
I mean text. Sorry, mispronounced that.
Wow. Inappropriate, sir.
Yeah.
Inappropriate. So what do we want to talk about today?
Rest in peace, Sports Illustrated.
RIP to Sports
Sorry, I
Illustrated.
didn't mean to step on your toes, Rob, but
No, not at all.
This is very important.
You brought something to the table. I'm shocked and I love it.
That's a good point.
Rest in peace, Sports Illustrated. More importantly, rest in peace, the swimsuit issue.
Oh my God, I didn't even think
Do you
about the
think
repercussions of it.
Do you think that's going to be gone, though?
First thing I thought of.
Oh no!
I think they'll find a way to save that. I really
they
do.
have. It's called Instagram.
Why, God? Why?
Rob's upset.
Well, you got to think of that issue brought us Kate Upton in the world.
Yes.
You don't think Kate Upton would have come around if it wasn't the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition, though?
Not as fast and furious.
But also not with the depth of coverage. Like I'm very serious. There are several behind the scenes photos, and because they had the budget to do that.
Yeah, they did.
And just pour one out for the swimsuit issue.
Well,
I don't really care about the sports reporting because
it was kind of antiquated in this day and age with antiquated. Did I say antiquated?
Yes.
My gosh, I'm an idiot. I'm a dumb face. Antiquated. It's antiquated with the internet. Right? There's no need for it. You get all your sports reporting, all your cutting edge news. Like Sports Illustrated used to be a magazine I loved getting. I loved the articles in there. I loved what they would talk about.
They did a lot of really nice exposés and long form articles.
So did Playboy.
Huh?
We're not,
sorry.
They did?
They did.
oh my
Isn't it what you read it for, the articles?
What is wrong?
I'm sorry. I didn't realize there were words in the. I didn't even know that there were letters in there.
Oh, okay. Is there something else in there?
Are we talking about the same magazine?
Yeah.
Gentlemen.
The one with all the sticky pages?
The one with all the jokes.
I think we're talking about something completely
We must be
different.
talking about something completely different.
Gentlemen. Remember when this podcast started off as something you wanted your kids to listen to in the future?
I'll be dead by the time they listen to this, so I'm good.
Yeah, your kids will never listen to this either.
My kids are very much alive and of podcast listening age, and they couldn't give a shit about this podcast.
Yeah. They're probably more embarrassed than anything.
That's a good point.
But R.I.P.
R.I.P. Sports Illustrated. You will be missed.
Yep.
Mm-mm.
I've got something to talk about.
What?
After Midnight. We talked about it a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it premiered this week. After Midnight is a take on At Midnight, which used to be on Comedy Central.
Okay.
Which I really enjoyed. At Midnight. I had actually no idea that they were the same thing, essentially. I thought it was going to be like a talk show.
It's not?
It's
No,
not.
It's a game show. It's a game show.
It's a game show. So it's After
a
Midnight
game
with
show.
Taylor Tomlinson, right?
Yes.
And so I watched an episode and a half yesterday.
Uh-huh.
And as soon as I start watching, I go, this really sounds familiar. Like the whole, and then I'm like, Chris Hardwick used to do this. Yeah. And so it, I think I was suffering from a little bit of sticker shock because I was expecting a talk show.
Yeah.
When I turned it on, and I'm like, wait a second, this is not a talk show. Wait, I recognize this.
Yeah.
So it wasn't bad. I was still in sticker shock, so I think that I couldn't appreciate what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
But they had some comedians on it, and I think that's why I liked it in the past, is they do a game show that asks silly questions like hashtag wars, where you had to take a picture and put hashtags on them.
Mm-hmm.
So the three contestants are generally comedians or something like that, and they just try to joke.
Oh, okay.
It was a real... At the time that At Midnight premiered, I thought it was pretty innovative.
Yes, I loved At Midnight when it was on. Plus, they had great performers to do the question, to do the three contestants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, of the episode and a half I watched, they didn't have that wow contestant yet.
Who were the first? Was Whitney? It was Whitney Cummings.
Whitney Cummings was on there.
And there were two other comedians.
There's another comedian, which they were okay.
Yeah.
And then Max Greenfield, I don't know, but the guy from New Girl. And
Whitney Cummings was in there too. You already said Whitney Cummings. I wasn't paying any attention.
Oh,
I wasn't paying any attention. I was looking up related to that show.
Thanks for listening to the podcast.
The second it came out of my mouth, I'm like, wait, I did literally just hear them say that.
I love you, Nick. Don't ever change.
I'm doing so many bad things today on this podcast. I almost got us
Don't
canceled
ever
within
change.
3 seconds.
yeah, you did. You almost got us arrested.
I mean, you arrested, not me.
You said it. Almost.
Didn't say anything.
Oh my gosh. Patreon. Let's we'll talk about that.
But the thing with At Midnight is it was Chris Hardwick, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he got into trouble.
Did he?
What did he do?
He did?
Didn't Chris Hardwick, wasn't he exposed as a, didn't he get accused of,
Let me look him up. Hardwick.
I don't know if it was sexual abuse. Like he just, I don't think he was ever criminally charged, but he was exposed as like a douche.
Really? I hadn't heard that.
I think he was.
Yes.
I think he was.
What do you got, Nick?
Was he Me Too'd? He was
Me Too'd.
Yeah.
Me Too. Oh.
Yeah, there was abuse allegations against him.
Allegations?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all it takes, Rob.
Yeah. That's
All
true.
it takes.
Yeah, but I bet you there. See, that's the thing. That's all it takes because it was so prevalent for so long.
And it might be true, but
That's all it takes.
I just, yeah, okay, that's the best way to say it. It all takes. But
Do I think Chris Hardwick is a great dude?
no.
Probably not. Do I think, and this is all without doing any sort of research into anything, when you look him up and the first thing you see is allegations and there's nothing more,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
it's
Understood.
all it takes.
But Taylor Tomlinson was good as a host. She does laugh a lot during the whole process, which kind of distracts from the host duties, but maybe it heightens it. But
Yeah.
again, I was still watching those episode and a half, a little shocked with the format.
Right.
So I guess maybe I didn't even know how to process it at the time. So I was expecting a talk show.
Mm-hmm.
See, I didn't realize until maybe a week or so ago when they started doing like promos. When I
hadn't seen the promos for it.
That's when I started.
I went
seeing
in
promos
raw
for it, and I love Taylor Tomlinson.
I know you
I'm
do.
a huge fan of hers. So I'm very interested.
Yeah.
And I was a huge fan of At Midnight. So if this is Taylor Tomlinson sort of taking the baton and running with it,
Yeah, she's a stand-up comedian, which would be a good
stand-up
format.
comedian,
She's got to be
incredibly
quick with her
fun,
wit.
very quick, very funny, very smart. I'm very interested in,
Yeah,
in After Midnight.
I'll watch it again when I get a moment. I'll absolutely watch it again. But Paramount Plus is what I watched it on.
So, is it on Comedy Central?
No, it's a CBS show.
Okay. So
And
it's
I watched
it's
it on
the-
Paramount
it's on
Plus.
CBS. It's
Yes.
on a major network.
Yep.
Okay. And is it every night sort of thing?
There are 3 episodes on Paramount Plus, so it's either every other night or every night.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
I'm interested.
Yes.
Very.
Also, this is more of a personal thing, but I got to talk about this because you don't talk about music as often as probably all of us would want to because it's not the focus of this show.
Yeah.
But I just got in the mail my Godsmack Vibes tour tickets, and the only reason I'm talking about it on the show is
You
because
have physical tickets?
yeah, you like that, don't you?
Yeah, I'm jealous.
So the only reason I'm talking about this particular concert is because I have literally been waiting this for decades. So way long ago, Godsmack released an acoustic album, and it's one of the best things I've ever heard.
Mm-hmm.
This is an acoustic tour,
Nice.
and it's acoustic, some electronics, and stories is what the way it's sold.
Okay, so it's almost like Unplugged or MTV Storytellers?
Yeah, kind of like that.
And I wasn't invited. Why?
You've never shown interest in Godsmack.
That's a good point.
That's true.
That's a very good point.
And I wasn't invited? Why?
You've never shown interest in Godsmack.
Untrue. I've been to a Godsmack show
I know,
with you.
but
Oh, you guys don't invite me to stuff. That's
No.
never mind. I get it.
well,
That tracks.
There it is.
Go on.
I have 2 tickets. I'm just saying that right now. But
For you and your daughter, I'm assuming.
who knows if she's going to be able to go? I don't know what her schedule's going to be like in April.
This April?
Yeah. So
You act like it's a year and a half away.
I know. It's,
Who knows what the future
who knows
holds?
what's going to happen? We could be in World War VI by then.
but Sully's voice matches acoustic music really well, and their stuff from that album, The Other Side, turns into acoustic music that's beautiful.
Okay. I'm going to take your word
I
on
like
that.
it. Oh, I like acoustic Godsmack.
No. That would be good. There's another concert coming in the Detroit that I'm interested in, and I know you're going to immediately roll your eyes at.
Hold on.
Chicago.
Ron Howard, best director of all time. Live show.
Green Day and the Smashing Pumpkins at Comerica Park.
I'm not going to roll my eyes,
and
but
Green
you know,
Day's doing Dookie and American Idiot in their entirety.
I will.
All right.
And as it's a top tier band, I'll never go to Comerica Park to watch a concert.
Yeah, that's not a good place to see
No.
a concert
I
at all.
saw Matthews and Macy Gray there,
Yeah.
and
I saw the 80s rock band
Nope.
concert there.
terrible.
And it was
terrible acoustics.
bad. It was bad. You could barely understand it.
Okay. So I'm very interested in this concert as well.
Yeah.
I don't really care for the Smashing Pumpkins. I love Green Day and I love Rancid.
Mhm.
Okay. It's being billed as Green Day doing Dookie and American Idiot and other hits.
Yeah.
How long are they going to play?
I think
Dookie's like 40 minutes. American Idiot's like an hour.
Yeah, I think they're planning on playing 2.5 hours.
That's pretty long for a band like Green Day to
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Absolutely.
that's the plan. From what I read, that's their set
like
list
it,
would be
though,
about
if
2.5 hours.
As a concert goer who seeks value, that's a good value.
Well, I agree because it seems like you're paying more for a concert these days and getting either as much or less time of the headliner.
Yeah.
Well, other than the Taylor Swifts of the world who plays for 3 friggin' hours,
Gosh, she's
it
incredible.
seems like the value's not there.
Yeah.
And I hope I'm wrong with the concerts I select this year because I'm going to go to 1 or 2. But
How many concerts do you go to a year now as a adult in your 40s?
so
And the reason I'm asking this is because you mentioned price. And back when I was early 20s, I mean, I would go to probably at least 100 concerts a year. I mean, I would go to a ton. But the shows I would go to were between $10 and $25.
well, yeah, you also didn't have the fees that equal $50.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
If you're lucky.
yeah, if you're lucky. So and if you go to the venue to try to buy tickets, who knows if you actually get tickets because everybody's snatching them up online when they go on sale.
Right.
Mm.
So you can't really avoid the fees there unless you're going to a lesser known band. But even then, good luck. But how many concerts do I go to? So we went to Tool 2 years ago now, year and a half.
Give or take.
Yeah.
You went to Tool together?
We did.
I wasn't invited.
Yeah, we invited you. You said no.
Yeah, you said fuck off.
No, that didn't happen.
No, you totally did that. You said no.
Yeah, we had a third ticket. We had to take Mike.
It
Yeah.
didn't. It did not happen.
No, that's true.
It did not happen.
Oh, anyway, so before that, I was very selective. I was very picky about what concerts I go to because I'm just like, you know what? But maybe after it was lockdown and after all that other stuff, but when I got a taste of that, and plus that show was god dang amazing. If I sniff one that I'm interested in, I'm probably going to go.
Yeah.
Just because, well, except for one, because I can't wrap my head around the price for it, which is Hootie and the Blowfish.
Only won't be with you.
I want to go to this concert. I don't do lawn anymore, but the tickets are no less than $128 without the fees
At Pine Knob?
at Pine Knob
Hold on, for Pavilion?
for Pavilion
Rob, that's not bad.
without the fees.
That's not bad.
That's terrible.
No, it's not. It's
I got
24.
I got a cozy, intimate venue for a major rock band for $80 total.
They're not major
I agree
anymore.
I agree with
Well,
that.
whatever. Anyway, a major.
I think
But Hootie isn't major anymore either.
Exactly.
Now, here's where we're going to disagree. Godsmack hold on. Godsmack has been going as Godsmack forever.
That's true.
They have
That's
not
25 years.
They have not broken up, and this is a feather in their cap, but it's also giving the fans several opportunities over the course of decades to see them in their current and total iteration as they always have been. With other various bands, you've had several opportunities to do that. Hootie and the Blowfish are reuniting. They are not.
They never broke up.
They never broke up, but they haven't done.
Slow your roll. They never broke up.
But they're reuniting for a tour.
Yes.
They haven't toured in
2 years. Well, no, it's 2020. 19. It was at the end of 19 they toured. Because I saw them.
Okay, but you don't have as many opportunities to see them.
I see your argument, yeah.
Darius Rucker has done his solo stuff. The band has been dormant for most of the last
Other than in South Carolina. They play.
decade or 15 years or so.
Yeah, they play regular in South Carolina.
Do
I
they?
mean,
Yeah.
Still?
So that's the opportunity cost is
They have a whole island thing they do.
it's just there haven't been as many opportunities to see Hootie and the Blowfish in the last, we'll say 25 years, because that's what Godsmack has been going for. So I mean, $128 is not that bad for Pavilion.
Now they're 150. I just looked without fees.
So you're talking $200 for a ticket, probably.
Yeah, and
Or
those
one-
are
185.
and that's
190.
literally the very back row of the pavilion. So you're outside of the shade area. If you want,
Wait till closer to the concert.
Okay.
They'll be
Okay.
They'll if you
Help me look.
keep that date open, and just be vigilant within 24 to 48 hours of the concert. You should be able to find tickets for.
I'd be willing to go to that one too.
Help me look. Because I might not be as savvy with that as you are.
I would go to that one.
Well, I would. You guys know I'm one of the biggest Hootie and the Blowfish fans. So I would, but I saw that and I had to go. Well, plus it's going to be an expensive year with the kid graduating and all this other stuff. So I got to be.
Your child is graduating?
Yeah, and going to this stupid school called Western Michigan.
Fight on for Western.
Jesus
Take the ball, make the score, win the game. Onward for the Brown.
Next
Go,
topic.
Push 'em back, bring us fame.
Hey.
Fight on for Western. Over one.
Next
over
topic.
all, we will reign.
Joe, this one will
Fight,
speak to
brothers,
you.
Fight with all your might. Western win this game.
There's a big Walmart rumor out there right now that they are moving away from physical games.
Oh, I thought you meant greeters.
No, I need that job when I'm old.
I know.
What are you doing to me, Joe? What the hell, man?
You knew it was bound to happen.
And I'm
sooner
trying
or
to
later.
get my dad as a greeter there now that he has a lot of time on his hands.
Oh my god. You know they check your receipt at Walmart like when you're walking.
No, I didn't know that.
They do that all the time at the Walmart by my house. It's like, I'm not giving you my receipt. You just watch.
Well, you don't
You see
have to.
This isn't
You're not
Costco.
legally obligated to it.
I know.
At their Costco, you have to
Why?
because you agree to it in their membership terms.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
fair.
because you remember.
That's fair.
So
Members only
So they
jackets.
they can revoke your membership. Yeah, exactly.
That's fair.
So those
Yeah.
places it makes sense, but
I get that it was bound to happen at some point, and they're starting with the rumor is they're starting with Xbox games.
As they should.
Yeah, because they're garbage anyway, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Which will lead me to my next topic here shortly.
okay.
But
They should.
it's just sad because if you look at, unless you have something downloaded on your hard drive, which I've seen with my digital music, they'll yank it.
They
They
can.
can absolutely yank it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I I have bought on Amazon. You can do the auto rip and get a CD. I've done that to so many CDs, and everything I bought an auto rip for is now I can't play for free.
So here's
Amazon.
Here's the big difference, I think, with video game systems like PS5 and Xbox. You can own the physical media, right? What's going to stop them from still releasing an update that makes it impossible for you to play that game on the system? They will do that, right? Like even if you have a PS5 game that all of a sudden there was a digital only game, they revoked it from the market for whatever reason. Sony can release an update that makes that game unplayable on your system. It doesn't change
But
anything.
generally, so I'm gonna actually. It's good you brought that up. Years ago, there was a game called PT that came out. Okay. PT was this trippy game that came out as a digital download only. Mm-hmm. Absolutely trippy. And if you'd never played it, or if you can find video, I suggest you go find it because it's actually spooky as.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
So at one point, they decided that no, you cannot have this game anymore. And they ripped it off of everything, unless you had it downloaded to your hard drive where they can't touch it.
Yeah.
I had it on my hard drive. I still have it on my hard drive on the PS3 or 4 downstairs, whichever one it was.
It was supposed to be like a launcher for a new Silent Hill
Hill
game.
Yeah. Yep. You nailed it.
Oh,
this
I thought it was like
game is a trip.
I thought it was a game where like you play somebody who was in a severe car accident and you have to go to physical therapy.
PTSD.
No,
game.
You got to go to physical therapy like every other, like 5 times a week to learn how to walk again.
If this is a game you can find like bootlegged, turn off the lights and play it.
I've heard it's terrifying.
It is a trip. Like my wife said, you cannot play this game around me.
I just don't think she likes you.
No, there's that too.
Well, she doesn't. She doesn't like you.
So
kind
I
of
just
the worst.
again physical media, man. Like I want to own that product.
Go ahead, eat on the show, Nick.
Yeah.
Nobody's watching or listening.
And so it's just a bummer to see this go. Okay. No, God. Nobody's listening now. Jesus. I want to own this product because I purchased this product.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that it can disappear or I don't have memory for this one, I just want to be able to throw a disc in or whatever it might be and use that as, I have a digital PS5, but I also don't. I have a disc one. Mm-hmm. I'd much prefer to use the disc one as much as possible.
See, this is why I'm pro piracy.
You have an argument.
Because if you're going to tell me that purchasing a game does not guarantee me ownership, then,
or in my case, music.
Right. If you download something you don't own it, mm-hmm. then piracy isn't stealing. If purchasing isn't ownership, then piracy is not stealing.
Well, you remember. So what's going to stop with Disney? So remember how you used to buy their discs, they put them in the vault for X amount of years. So when they re-released or a sequel came out, people just go there in droves. What's going to stop them from yanking it off your Vudu account or your Movies Anywhere account? Nothing.
Right.
Nothing at all.
But here's the reality. It's happening anyways. Physical media is going away. So like your argument is a very valid argument, but physical media will be gone probably within the next 10
Again,
years.
I blame the people.
Video games and movies.
Oh, movies. Or more so music other than vinyl.
Yeah, pretty much.
CDs are still around. Here's the thing. Here's a stark reality. Physical media will outlive the three of us. It just will.
I hope.
It will always, and the reason I say that is because there's already enough physical media forever.
No, that's true.
So
yes,
you will always be able. Now, are you going to be able to go to Walmart or Target and get it? Maybe within our lifetime, there won't be a physical media section.
Some Targets have gotten rid of all their physical media,
and
it'll get expensive too.
Right.
Yeah.
But it will always be around. You will be able to go to a record store, or you will be able to go to
it'll be there.
Resale shop.
Like a disc replay, or
have you been there lately?
No.
Either have I.
I haven't been there in a while.
I'm just kind of curious what it looks like in there now.
Not great. I was there 6 months ago.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It smells really bad.
It just smells like weed.
Yeah, it does.
I'm sorry, I was just there, guys.
Okay.
But physical media is always like, we don't need any more physical media, I guess. But
so like
but I'm pro physical media. I want any game or music or movie that's released. I want to be able to own it.
Yes.
I want to be able to hold it. I want the highest quality experience that the developers of that piece of art
Intended.
Yeah. And that is best on a physical source. We always talk about like the visuals of a movie, true 4K, or true lossless audio, or the listening experience of
4K
of an album or a CD. Like, I want the experience that the artist intended.
Yeah,
but like think
and
about.
I also want to own it.
So things degrade though. Like VHS tapes, for instance, have a lifespan of 30 years. So you own that physical media. After 30 years, it's shot.
No, it's not.
depends how you take care of it too.
There are several movies from the 80s that are still VHS tapes.
You should see George's porn collection.
Yeah.
If you own, they're going to degrade in quality to the point where they become unplayable, though. That's what happens with VHS tapes. That's what happens with DVDs as well and Blu-rays. They degrade over time. They lose that coating and naturally.
No.
Yes.
Well, it
Absolutely.
it does, but it's going to take a long time, man.
How long does it? Look up a 4K. Look up a Blu-ray and tell me the lifespan of a Blu-ray.
Well, plus, if I buy music, I do put it on Apple iTunes just so I can have it in my iPad or iPod as I run around or whatever.
5 to 20 years.
For a Blu-ray.
Yeah.
So I already have Blu-rays almost older than that.
That's absolute horseshit.
Wait, hold on. No, hold on.
That's
Another
that's
80 to 100 years. 80 to 100 years.
my lifespan. That's all I really care about.
Yeah.
80 to 100 years in ideal conditions. Where VHS is 30 years in ideal conditions.
Okay, here's the thing. You're not watching a VHS tape for an ideal picture.
No, you're not.
Sometimes there are movies that you can't get. And this argument has been made from the jump from VHS to DVD and DVD to Blu-ray, and even DVD or Blu-ray to streaming. There are certain movies that are just left behind.
Yeah.
So there's certain movies that you can only get on VHS.
Right.
Richard Grieco's If Looks Could Kill.
That you could not get.
Great movie.
Drop Dead Fred.
That's on DVD.
Maybe
Yes.
maybe the
Chris
movies
Lazar.
are on DVD now.
We do too.
But during DVD's like reign, there were several movies that on VHS that you could only get on VHS. You couldn't get on DVD.
It took
Oh,
Men in
it's
Tights forever to come out on
Drop
DVD.
Dead Fred's on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And Blu-ray was the same way. There were, for the longest time, there was, there were calls for certain movies to be. When's this going to get a Blu-ray release? When's this going to get a Blu-ray release? It was the only thing you could get was DVD.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I just don't think that physical media is ever going to truly go away. But I do. We are clearly in an age where it is not profitable for companies to be putting out physical media
Right.
anymore,
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
which is sad.
Yeah. Real quick, just because I got to get all my bullet points done. Indiana Jones game coming out. Looks great. Have you seen any of the visuals for it?
Yes.
No.
It looks incredible.
Looks incredible.
Yes.
What kind of game is it? Like a more or less like
First
Uncharted?
person.
Like your Hogwarts type of game.
Yeah. No, it's first person.
It's
So
first person.
Hogwarts is third person.
It's first person. I thought it was third.
I think you can change in between, actually.
Okay.
now
What
that
is
I
it
think about
more? Is it more like Uncharted, where it's a story?
It's more like
Or is
Tomb
it-
Raider. Like the new
Okay.
Tomb Raider games.
Yeah,
yeah.
so that's similar to Uncharted.
Uncharted, yes.
But it's
yes.
not. So it's not open world.
No, yes and no. I think it's a little bit of both. No, I think it's more Uncharted or Tomb Raider, where they're
Okay.
not open world, but they are all at the same time, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Like you get levels.
Side quests and
yeah,
stuff, but not truly open world.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, but it looks incredible. The graphics are really good. But what's your problem with it, Rob?
You know what my problem is. That's why
No,
I'm gonna-
you got to say it though.
The rumor is that at least initially,
Mm-hmm.
it will be an Xbox only,
Which means it's going to suck.
which means it's not going to sell much.
No.
So,
Let it be Xbox only. Who cares?
How do you like that can of worms?
also you get one exclusive and you're bragging about it.
I know, I'm kidding.
And it's
around.
Indiana Jones.
No, but the game looks phenomenal, and
It
I might
does.
make my son get it because he has one of those gross things.
I'm looking at one of those
Yeah,
gross
that's
things
bad.
right now.
Rob, that's bad parenting.
That is terrible parenting.
It's not terrible, parent.
It's terrible parenting.
You're a terrible parent, though.
I am.
You are. And it's not because of your video game choices.
Well, there's that. There's also
it's because your face is dumb.
Because
snap!
your son will watch Next Generation with you. My son won't.
Yeah, he is watching.
Oh, what do you think of last week's episodes?
Last week's episodes, he gave really high ratings, 8s and 9s.
What the heck? What's wrong
Is
with
your
that
son on the
kid?
spectrum?
I don't
Can you
know.
get
This
him
week
test-
he gave a lower ratings.
Okay.
Yeah.
6s and 7s.
Well,
Yes, yes.
he gave Justice lower ratings. I thought he'd been like all about it.
He loved the
Yeah,
last Outpost.
Yeah,
a
what's up with
lot,
him? What's up with these?
And where no one's gone before, he gave them both like 8s.
Okay, I'm gonna ask again for later for these weeks.
Okay.
What are you doing to that child?
I don't know. And he's like, you know what? Here's my problem, Dad. You spent all this time hyping up Battlestar Galactica, and it was okay. It wasn't great. And you spent all this time dumping on Next Generation, and I think it's great. So he's like, the expectations were so low for it that it makes it better, and then the expectations were set high for the other. So I think that's what it was. So yeah. But there's that.
I mean, I don't want to talk bad about anyone's kids, but you're raising a loser.
I mean, clearly he's my child, so of course he's a loser. He's not going to be a good kid. He's related to me.
That's, you know what? That's fair criticism, and I appreciate how introspective you are.
Thank you. All right, should we move on to Star Trek?
Let's do it.
I give it a 3.
Lonely Among Us. The Enterprise picks up delegates from 2 different planets who hate each other, and they got to keep them away from each other on the whole ship ride because they just hate each other. While they're on their way, they run into an energy cloud that transfers itself into the ship, and the energy keeps jumping around from person to person until finally it jumps in Picard. And then Picard gives this weird command that they need to turn around and go back to the energy field. They go back to the energy field. Picard transports into it, but for some reason they're able to save them. The show ends with one of the delegates eating one of the other delegates. The end.
Well, they hinted at it. They didn't say it necessarily. And Picard going like, peace, I'm out. You deal with that, Riker.
You deal with the fact that there was blood found on the ground and they asked you to cook an amphibian. What? You're the captain, man. You can't check out on this one.
He was relieved of duty, to be fair.
You said duty.
Right.
All right. So another weird episode.
And another one where Wesley is figuring everything out. And nobody else with all this training and all this years of experience has any clue.
No one has any clue. They got the Wonder Kid, Wesley.
No wonder his character was so hated.
Yeah, I totally get it. They wrote him terribly.
Yeah, they did.
They did not do him.
This
any
isn't
favors.
a shot at Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton has talked about this, that like the people who said he was a problem in the show, they were the ones who were writing him as a problem.
Right.
It was their fault. They butchered him as a character. So
I don't think they butchered him as a character. I think he's misused. He's overused.
He's overused and he's way too smart.
I think having a Wonder Kid on the Enterprise could actually be interesting.
As long as he's not outsmarting every single character.
Right.
Yeah.
Every week it's, oh, thanks, Wesley.
Yeah.
Yeah, shut up, Wesley. Oh, you were right. Shut up, Wesley. Oh, you were right.
Will doesn't like shut up, Wesley.
Yeah.
We're not, but that's what they're basically all saying. Every single character tells them to shut up.
They're saying shut up, boy, because they don't call him Wesley half the time.
Yeah, they call him boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring the boy to the bridge.
Bring the boy.
Well, there's 1,000 people on this ship. Which boy are you referring
boy?
to?
Yeah, exactly.
The boy.
The boy.
Bring him to the Epstein Island. I mean, the bridge.
Does he have one of those finger traps?
Yes. We changed it to finger bangers.
Okay.
And I'm still trying to find personalized ones.
That's a good point.
If anybody wants to help us, email us at kuwtcshow@gmail.com.
794-494-6940.
Do you think anybody wants to get
just made up a
involved
phone
with
number.
this?
With our finger bangering?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a great idea we could send to people. Of course,
Okay.
they want us
You
to
think
finger
we'll
bang
have
them.
You think we'll have a major female outpouring of...
Whoa. Why female? This is a toy that you could just play with.
No, I know, but they're generally smarter, so they might have better ideas.
Oh, that's true. I just need someone to help me shop because I can't find these things that I can personalize.
I've been told women like to shop.
Wow.
Wow, that was sexist.
I've been told. I was able to frame that in a way that is...
No,
You know
saving
what I
this.
like about the show is
This show or the
Yeah.
Next Generation?
The Next Generation.
Okay.
I don't like anything about this show, our show.
Oh, fair enough.
I think the visuals outside of the ship, the space visuals, are generally pretty good.
Kind of ahead of their time.
Yeah.
For their era. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I like the craning shots of when they go over the Enterprise, and you can, if you pay attention closely, you can see into the windows and see like people moving on the bridge.
And this isn't the like the animated versions.
Mm-mm.
This is the
Remastered?
80s remastered. So I think this
Isn't
is
it?
they redid some of the graphics, didn't they, for like the Blu-ray release?
I don't think
Or they just upgraded the clarity.
I think that's it.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, they
Ignore.
did that with the original series. For
That's
sure.
what it was. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so
See how I saved myself? There?
let's start with what you presume to be the A story, which quickly goes on the back burner and really doesn't matter at all. The delegates, they are of no consequence the entirety of this.
No.
Like,
It was just a purpose to try to get them from point A to point B.
right, and they were written as kind of like ridiculous, right? Like I honestly feel like what I'm noticing a lot in this early Star Trek is they spend a lot of time doing the whole like snooty lifting their nose up in the air against what human culture used to be. Oh no, Superman fell. Let's put that right there.
Yep.
So, for instance, like when they're on the bridge here at one point and they're talking about the different delegates, and Picard's like, well, at one point we used to fight over silly things like that. In fact, we actually used to fight over models of economic systems. Wink, wink, like about capitalism and socialism. Mm-hmm. And it's like they kind of beat it over your head that they are superior. They are much better than humans used to be.
They're trying to establish the universe.
You can establish it without saying it.
Agreed.
Show it,
I
don't
agree.
say it.
I agree.
It's obnoxious to me.
You're obnoxious to
It's
me.
obnoxious. Every time they do it, it takes me out of the episode.
Fair enough.
Ugh. Anyways, stupid A plot that actually becomes the B plot.
I like the alien makeup though.
The alien makeup was really well done. For the amphibians especially. Not so much for the other creatures.
And one of those aliens was
Mm-hmm.
Gul Dukat, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One of the amphibian ones.
Was it amphibians?
I think.
I couldn't remember which one was which.
I don't even know. I don't really care.
Yeah, I knew it was him because he seemed bad at first, and then he seemed like a pretty decent guy, and then he was bad again.
And you immediately like, you know what? This Gul Dukat seems all right.
Yeah.
Oh, and Cole Meany is back.
I know. He looks like a baby too.
And now he's a security officer this
Where the
time.
hell did he go?
He's just an extra right
it's
now.
a ship of 1,000 people.
Yeah.
You're not going to see the same ones every week.
Well, except
Yeah,
for
but
the
they
fact
killed
that
off they killed off the one dude.
The chief engineer. Was
yeah.
that?
they've had multiple chief engineers already.
Well,
actually,
that was
'cause there
they
a
did
female.
say it was an assistant chief engineer.
She was?
No, this guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they killed him. They killed him dead. Ugh. All right, so it's a lightning. It was a creature that
I knew he
lived
was
in
gonna
the
die.
cloud
Yes.
that was just trying to communicate with them. So it
Initially.
kept transferring between different people. Okay, so here's a question for you.
Why?
You're the doctor, okay, and this thing possesses you, and you walk up on the bridge, and then it leaves your body, and you're
Yes.
like, I don't know why I'm here. What is going on? And they're like, Doctor, what's going on? She's like, nothing, and leaves. You're the doctor. Wouldn't you be like, I have no clue how I just got here?
Don't you think doctors make the worst patients though?
They do.
I mean, it's just so stupid. Like, how much of this could have been solved by them talking to each other? And then also, Picard at one point finally clearly tells the doctor, yes, there are two of us here. Boom.
Yes.
But there's nothing we can do. At that moment, you can relieve him of command.
That was by far the single dumbest
It
moment
was
in the
so dumb. Like, oh, we know he's possessed. He's telling us to go here, but there's nothing we can do about it because he is the captain.
But the minute he said yes, I am. He is in here. So am I.
Yeah, and they're like, well, we have nothing concrete to relieve him of command. Yes, you do.
At that moment, he admitted to the doc. Yes. At that moment, she should have been like, "You're done.
You're done here.
It's over.
You're done. But then he would have electrocuted her like Palpatine in Star Wars. Nah, unlimited power. Nah.
Jesus.
I would. Can you do it to the camera, please? Thank you.
It's an excellent
Yes.
Palpatine.
Yeah.
Can we save our money so I can get camera rigs in here?
I know, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways,
That's the last thing the people need is more
Nick.
of this show.
Yeah.
more footage of me.
Don't you want to be able to click on a button to change it? Be nice.
That would be nice. Camera A, camera B.
Yeah.
Camera A, camera B. Do you remember that from Wayne's World?
It's production.
Yeah.
It's production quality, and that's one thing we
Camera
lack
one?
in our YouTube.
Camera 2. Camera 1,
That's true.
camera 2.
But given our circumstances, I think we do the best we can.
More so time.
Circumstances is all encompassing.
Fair enough. But yeah, that was the worst part where she's in the she's in the ready room.
You're still good. You're still the captain.
Yeah, you're good. We're just gonna keep following you, even though you're like,
you're clearly insane.
This is better. We have 2 captains now.
Yeah,
I am the captain
now. And then Deanna finally actually does some psychologist stuff.
Yes,
and hypnotizes them, and
look at this.
Finds out they were possessed by a alien being.
I felt something. I felt there was
8 episodes in. She's useful.
Is that a finger banger in your pocket? Or are you just happy to see me?
I think you're misunderstanding. It's just supposed to be like a fun toy.
Yeah, a finger banger.
I don't think they're that big. They're paper though. They're not gonna put Trude out of a pocket.
Yeah, they would, because they're like woven together.
Okay,
so they're like solid.
Right.
Yeah. Finger bangers can stick out of pockets.
That's a banger.
Goodness. Now you know.
Well, so here's the thing. Here's another thing. Another plot point. So these 2 alien species were being considered for the Federation,
and they hate each other,
and they
will
obviously
eat each other,
and they obviously weren't involved. But Bajor didn't even get it in 7 seasons of DS9.
I don't know what to tell you.
I don't even want to talk about this episode anymore. I'm out.
Is this the episode where Data becomes Sherlock Holmes?
Yes.
Oh, that was pretty cool.
I will admit that was cute.
It was cute.
Indubitably, sir.
Indubitably.
Yes.
And Picard just yells at him all the time. Picard just yells at people, man.
Well, let's come on.
Even when he's not possessed.
If you're in a command structure and that guy, he deserves it.
He does.
Who?
Stop babbling.
No. Picard told him about it. He's like, he told him about it.
He didn't say take care, like go into Jim Carrey, like character of it.
You're saying it to date. He's gonna research it and get every little nugget of information on Sherlock Holmes. He told him about it, and then he was like, lose the pipe, bitch.
Yeah, that's what he should have said. Data, stop babbling. He was babbling. See, there's different personality types. I'm the bullet point person. Don't give me the fluff.
Babbling was the next episode.
Yeah, it was. But he babbles in every episode.
Crap. Sorry.
Yeah.
But I thought, I was like, that's kind of a dick move, Picard. You tell him about it. You know he's going to research it and get all into it.
Yeah. What do you expect of him?
He's like,
I support Picard.
You made him what he was, Picard.
I
made him.
Data should have common sense. He's a lieutenant commander. Drop the act.
He's Data. There's no common sense.
Disagree.
Outside of his realm.
Disagree. How do you move along that far in rank? Doesn't really need to act like himself in a meeting atmosphere.
First of all, that was one of the best parts of the episode.
Agreed. It was the best part of the episode.
So to give him shit about it.
Right. Exactly. He's the only one making this watchable right now, okay? Shut up, Jean-Luc.
That should have been his line when Picard said lose the pipe. He should have been, I'm the only reason people are still watching this episode, asshole.
Looks at the screen and then keeps indubitably.
Indubitably.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. So Wesley is annoying again in this episode.
Go
but
figure.
According to post-production notes, DC Fontana wrote him and trashed him on a panel. And he's like, this is your problem, DC, not mine. I agree. They terribly write him. Just wanted to throw that out there. Because I don't really know what there is to talk about in this episode. What is there?
Next.
What is there?
Justice. Let's do it.
Okay. You know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about, and we've touched on this at least a couple times since we started TNG, how starkly different these reviews are from Battlestar Galactica and Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, we would talk for like an hour on one episode about one small decision.
Uh-huh.
Like, there's nothing here that makes me go, well, I would have done this differently. Well, if you were him, wouldn't you have done this? No, nothing like that here.
I mean,
Except
you know what I would have done differently?
Relieved him of command.
Relieved him of command.
But we can't have this is indicative of the creator of Star Trek still being alive at this time, because he can't have conflict within his crew, right? Like I think.
Well, that wasn't his crew at that point. He was a different being.
Yeah, but I think they still.
That's how they got away with things.
I know, but they didn't do anything here.
I've noticed that
Justice. Can we move on?
Yeah, because there's Justice is fun.
Is it though? Is it though? Anything else?
You see
So
the
do
outfits?
you really want to move on?
Yes. Move along home. Let's go.
Olive Moraine, 1 2 me.
1 2 3. 1 2 me.
1 2 me.
Nailed it.
U.S. Enterprise arrives at a planet that is beautiful. It's like an Eden. And the captain approves shore leave for the people because...
He doesn't approve it. He sends people to see if we can approve it.
Well, yeah, to see if we can approve it. And he sends a team down, and he sends the horniest members of the crew down because that just makes the most sense.
Well, Riker.
Yeah, Will Riker. Deanna is pretty horny. So is Yar.
Yar's all about it.
And Worf is DTF.
Worf
as
went
well.
down later, didn't he, though? The second beam down.
Yeah, that's
Worf
true.
is technically double DTF.
Yeah.
So anyways, they land on this planet, and this planet is full of people just wearing skimpy clothes, and basically all they do is have sex. Like that's what this planet is.
At a drop of a hat.
And
any hat.
there's no crime. There's nothing wrong with the planet. It's paradise.
Jimmy hat.
It's paradise. All they do is have sex on this planet. While this is happening on the Enterprise, a weird object shows up and yells at them and basically says, "Leave. Get out of here. Go."
Let my people go.
And they don't want to leave. And then we go back down to the planet, and as they're all, like enjoying themselves, Wesley goes off with this group of kids, and they find out that the rest of the crew finds out that any breaking of the law results in immediate death. And so
I like it.
The next scene, what happens? Wesley falls, and
a golden opportunity here.
And they want to kill him, and the crew comes in and says, "No, don't kill him." And then there's a whole argument over following this laws of this land or following the Prime Directive, and ultimately they decide to ignore the laws of the land, break the Prime Directive, and take off with their person. But the God approves of it. The end.
So did they break the Prime Directive if the God approves of it?
Yes, they still broke the Prime Directive because they still dishonored the planet's laws.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But they didn't know the laws. So,
Yeah, you'd think, I don't know, we're talking, hey, what's your plan like? Didn't they do research? Oh, by the way, if you break one of our rules, you might die if it's in this particular random
I
area.
feel like Tasha Yar really dropped the ball on this one.
She
As a security chief.
half-assed this
Yeah.
research.
She's like, I read the laws, but I didn't
she-
read anything about punishment. You didn't think there's punishment involved in breaking their laws?
She was too busy getting the D.
Yeah, she
she
read
was.
about the wrong kind of punishment.
Yeah, she did. She was. Yeah, she was in the wrong.
Yeah.
Do you think they're into that kind of stuff on that planet? I
I think anything goes.
No, I don't think it's that. I don't think the
It-
S&M is something that happens on a planet like that. BDSM. I don't think it happens there.
I think that planet is ripe for it.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think it is, because they don't use any form of violence or anything. So
734
they would consider that a form of
494.
a violent act.
0980.
I don't know.
You know?
I still feel like
No, but it's not punishable by death, so go at it.
No,
Yeah.
but they don't do it.
You got to It's not punishable by death, so you got to punch that ass.
I'm telling you, no.
it's not violent if it's consensual.
I love the looks you give sometimes.
I don't think
This
they
is
do.
why I need a camera rig.
I know. So we can see Nick's disapproving look. 95%.
I want to donate a camera rig.
Oh gosh. Okay.
I want to talk about something that Rob and I talked about earlier before we. This planet's racist.
Yeah.
So,
what-
no, hold on. Let's give context. Let's start at the beginning. You guys, was it you who said this is how do it come up where you're like, at least it's not as bad as Code of Honor where it's blatantly racist? I go, what are you talking about?
Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
There's only white people on this
didn't-
planet.
That was Joe who said that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. Joe said that, and then I said, "Oh my gosh, that's right. I didn't
Yeah.
even notice that. Eden has no people of color whatsoever. It's all the whitest of white,
blonde people.
blonde hair, blue eyed.
Hitler's in heaven at this place.
Yeah, Aryan nation over here.
Also, not for nothing. Nobody on that show was packing. No males were packing anything.
No, they. I feel like they intentionally bundled it.
Well,
for
I
the
hope
time.
so because I didn't want to see things hanging out from bottom of those shorts.
But I mean,
They bundled.
No, there was one
it looked
person.
Like it looked like a series of Ken dolls.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it did. It did. I
Okay.
actually paid
I
attention.
was like, okay.
Oh,
these are
did
really-
you?
I was
I
paying
did-
attention to the crotches
You
of the
were-
men.
I did
Yes,
too. Yeah,
because I'm like
they're very revealing.
Well, because
So-
I'm like, that fabric is really thin. How are they making this work? And I would look and I'd be
'cause
like,
the one main
there's
dude
nothing
that
there.
they saw, you could kind of see his nuts,
Yeah,
and I was like, he's got nothing there.
yeah. They are intentionally hiding it.
I didn't even think to pay attention to that.
Well,
Oh,
no,
I
go
always
back
do.
and rewatch,
Always
sir.
look at the
Go
crotch.
back and rewatch.
There's not a. I mean, there's.
And most
No,
of
Maybe it was cold on the planet.
most of the
No,
men
they're
on this
wearing
planet
almost nothing.
aren't really ripped. They're pretty average.
Yeah,
There
average
was
is
the
good.
one ripped
I
guy
like
that they were
that.
massaging at one point.
Yeah.
But for the most part,
Asshole.
they were for the most part, they were just like normal looking dudes. The women were not.
Yes, the women were smoke shows.
Yeah.
I got a question that is probably more for Patreon, but do you think he was laying on one of those porn tables where there's like a whole...
Oh, God.
And there's somebody underneath it.
Oh, God.
I hate being on this television show, this podcast.
This television show.
This podcast.
I was like, he was so oiled up. You know he was.
So, how did they get anything done on this planet?
Well, that they don't. There's nothing to do. Their God takes care of them.
How would you survive as a species?
Their God takes care of them, I think.
I see. They act like they'd never really seen or felt his presence before. Just
but I think
stories.
I think it's very similar to that guy, the alien species from that one episode where the things just appear that they need. I think it's the same idea here.
And did you think that every time, like the security guards came over, they're like, "Hey, we got to punish you," but then porn music could come on? I was expecting that the entire time. Like, hey, I'm going to punish you now. To Joe's point, S&M.
Exactly. Let's get into some actual things that happened on this show.
Was there actual things that happened?
How stupid is Wesley that he didn't see it's basically a friggin' greenhouse and he just runs over it?
Have you ever run a pattern and it got wrapped up in locking on the ball and you run to catch the ball?
Come on. Know your surroundings.
Hot take, that boy was jealous and he intentionally did that so Wesley would
I agree, because he threw that ball pretty deep.
He threw that ball deep.
Oh,
and that girl was getting in on Wesley.
Yeah, she was.
She wanted some Wesley.
To be fair, the girls on that planet don't really care. They'll or anybody on that planet. Let me take that back. Anybody on that planet's just like, I'm going to hop from you to you.
Can we talk about how awkward this would be as young children watching your parents and everyone else running around?
And your mother was okay with what was going on down there? And it's like, yeah, take Wesley to the horny planet. Take the teenager to the horny planet.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
And Picard is like...
ever.
Picard is like rewarding this kid by...
Hey, why don't you go down there and see what happens, eh?
Yeah, Wesley, why don't you go check this planet out? You know, they're all... Because there's
Picard was young once.
And Riker...
You know, Picard was the same age as me.
Yeah, he's like 46.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Just a slightly older than me.
He looks like he's 100 already.
It's crazy.
He's looked like he's 100 since he was in his 40s, right? Like that's the key to his aging.
But to that scene, so he tramples this greenhouse that just absolutely falls apart with a kid stepping on it, right? It just crumbles. It's built like shit because everyone's too horny for any sort of quality control. But then he's just like, my bad, I'm fine.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
He didn't say so. Like, he was just like, it's okay, I'm fine. It's like,
what did you do? You ruined those plants, but I'm fine.
Yeah.
But you trampled our plants, but I'm fine.
I'm fine. Nobody cares.
No one cares, Wesley.
We care about the plant life.
You literally tripped. We know you're fine. You're not like Nick. Your ankles are okay. Okay? We know you're good.
Oh,
gosh,
God.
Wesley, you're the worst. Shut up, Wesley.
Are they going to kill me? Yeah, they're going to kill you, son.
And how did he not know what was happening? Like, they're coming up, and they're like, no, he doesn't know. He doesn't know. Don't do it. And they bring out this vial, and then Riker says something, and they're like, are they going to kill me? At that point, is he... So he's smart on everything else, but he's that dumb to realize they're not trying to,
I told you, they wrote him as... It's a Sheldon Cooper rough draft.
It could have been Super Soldier Serum.
Oh, they're going to turn him into a horn dog just like them.
Like Captain America?
Oh. No.
No, please don't give me that juice.
You know what they did? They just...
Give me the Captain America juice, please. Give it to me.
They threw away a golden opportunity to get rid of Wesley.
Okay, so let's talk about how this planet... the guy makes a good point. Okay, here's one point I do want to take from it. They're like, the kid didn't know the law, and he's like, we can't allow ignorance of the law become an excuse, right? Mm-hmm. It's a good argument, like that's happening in our own country, right?
Yeah.
When you're like, well, I didn't know it was against the law, so I shouldn't be. Well, sorry, it doesn't work that way.
Or even worse, where it's like, I don't care, the law doesn't apply to me. Like, it just,
I should be immune.
Yeah.
The president should be immune from all laws.
I ran that red light because I was in a hurry, which... Yeah, you're right.
But
they should be.
But sometimes they let you go because of that, right? Like based on situation.
I do agree with Picard and Riker at the end where they argue that laws aren't meant to be absolute.
Right, exactly.
So,
but it's worked for that planet.
Joe, here's the question for you. If you could live on that planet,
yes, I would.
But you have to follow those laws with that severity.
I'm fine.
Would you live on that planet?
I'm too busy. Where am I going to find the time to break the laws?
So my question also, so they're always humping, right? Where's the hydration stations?
That's a good point.
I'm sure they've got it.
Yeah.
But
there's like Gatorade sponsor that planet.
Can you imagine how sticky that planet is?
It looks very clean.
It makes Ryza look lame.
Can you imagine the person having like the cleanup crew that has to come in behind?
No one's cleaning up because they're all too busy.
Yep.
You like all the
That's my point.
You like all the sounds there, like in the background as soon as they
I know.
I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Can you guys dial it back a
I know.
little bit?
Can we dial back the boners?
Man, they dropped a lot of hats there. Jesus.
Gosh, it was.
But to your point, where would you find the time to break laws? If I'm there, there's no way you know what I'm doing?
You're occupied.
I'm eating and sleeping. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I was about to ask the question, but that's a Patreon question.
Why am I on this podcast? I don't understand this. Two are the worst. Oh, God.
Hey, just say we might like eating and sleeping.
What are the actual food options there?
Cares.
I saw sex and flowers. That's all I saw.
You're eating
I
the
didn't
flowers.
see a single cafeteria.
Yeah, you are.
No cafeteria.
I didn't see a single cafeteria.
I'm just saying, like, where's the Gatorade at? Because you're going to need
I feel like their cafeterias would violate some health codes.
Yeah, because there's semen on the salad.
That's what they offer. They offer tossed salads.
I can't.
Do you want the salad without the white stuff or with?
Oh my gosh, I can't.
That's Caesar dressing, Nick. What the hell's wrong with you? Yeah. It's thick and creamy Caesar dressing, but
stop. Can you just stop? Can you just stop?
Listen, it'll stop in season 3. This is all we have to.
This is the material we have to work with.
Yes. Hey, we didn't write the episode. We're watching.
We're improving the episode. Actually,
all right. I have something serious though. I have something serious. Okay, their prime directive. I'm going to keep my eyes closed as I'm talking.
Yeah, you are. You know, let's see what's going on over here then.
Their prime directive says that they cannot violate the laws of another land, and if they do, they're basically have to follow their laws, even if it means the death of their crew when their crew wasn't aware. I think that's stupid.
Why?
Feel like
1 or 1,000? Wesley or the rest of the crew?
If Wesley but they don't know what's going to happen. They could just leave, and the god could be like, "Fine, they're gone." They don't know.
Well, here's the prime directive issue in this episode. In the first place, they're not a warp-capable society.
Yeah, so what made them go down there?
They have no business being there in the first place. They could observe, but they can't interact.
Right. So they've already violated the prime directive and being
How
there.
did you guys already know about this stuff, the prime directive?
Because we're nerds.
Yeah.
I know, but
the prime directive says you cannot influence the technology of another civilization.
You want to know what?
And if they're pre-warp, you're not supposed to have contact with them.
That's a critique that I have. Is they've referenced the prime directive before in this show without
Multiple
explaining
times,
without explaining what it is.
I think they covered like once in the original series, but loosely.
Yeah.
And they're doing it right now. You're right. But trust me, you'll get a lot of the prime directive.
It'll come into play.
And no, it was on DS9 too. It came into play a couple times on DS9.
When Cisco's nuking a planet.
Yeah,
in theory, this predates that. So the writers should have at least written something in to sort of explain. At least a scene to explain to the planet, this is our prime directive. It says A, B, and C. Just as a refresher course
to new viewers too, because if it was covered in
right.
the original series, I mean that was at this point 20 some odd years ago.
Right.
Fair enough.
So later on in the episode, Picard's arguing with one of the people on the planet, and the guy's like, "Well, we're so backwards and you're so advanced, nothing will stop you from taking him." Was the guy being sarcastic and a butthole, or was he like, "No, literally do it. We can't do anything"?
No, he was being a dick because we're so inferior and backwards thinking.
Yeah. But okay. So they shouldn't have been on this planet in the first place.
No. 100%. They should not have been on this planet.
But
a great plan.
I see why.
Yeah. Right. So you get Riker there and he's like, "I'm going to take a visual. I'm going to send a probe down here." He's like, "Oh shoot. We going to this planet, Captain." And Riker's down there like, "I'm going to impregnate all these girls."
Captain, they have warp drive down there.
Yeah, they do.
They got hella warp drive.
They do.
Engines are full power. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they do. They go to warp 6.9 very quickly.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
See, we've gotten you into the jokes.
There you
Just
go.
that one.
We're just tugging you away.
That's it. That's all you
I
get
like
out
the
of
I
it.
like the girl that went immediately for Worf.
Yeah.
She's like, I heard about Klingons, baby.
Yeah, he's like, "What's up, man?" And he's like, "These bitches too fragile." I was like,
I know.
a humble brag right there.
Yeah,
Come on, Worf.
tear that ass up.
Yeah,
Oh
man.
my gosh, what is happening?
We're
This
only
used to
reviewing-
be a TV PG sort of show.
Did you see the content of the episode?
I
This
know.
show
I know.
can
We're
fluctuate.
not really making anything up. Worf said he would break a woman.
Yeah, he literally said that.
He did actually.
And did you
he
watch
did.
I will break you.
Behind the Pod? That was not.
And did you watch Deep Space Nine with him with Jadzia? Man,
Oh.
she comes out wrecked,
Yeah.
like bruised and just bloodied, and so does he.
Hot.
Mm-mm-mm.
This is why I love Jadzia. What can you do?
That's why I love Star Trek.
Yeah.
Can we just rate these episodes?
Hold on, I got one thing to
I
say.
give this one a 6.9.
Wait, one thing. So Picard is like, "Hey, I'm gonna take you up to the ship. Walk around. This kid's gonna get, is imprisoned." Beverly walks around. He's all talking to this girl, and she's like, "What is she here? And my kid's dying."
Not now.
Yeah, and he's like, "Not now. I'm spitting some game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me while I'm talking to her.
Yeah.
I'll get to you later." And meanwhile, she's like, "Hey, I'm already crushing on this dude,
Yeah.
and you got this chick up here. The fuck?
Yeah.
While my kids might be getting killed, you're all killing this time with this girl."
Yeah. Exactly. It's not a good look.
Picard's insensitive.
Yeah.
He was like,
do?
Well, that was insensitive. Like, what's going to happen with my kid? Not now.
"Not now, Doctor."
Like you owe it to her to have a conversation.
Really, what's going to happen? They're not doing anything with Wesley at the moment.
Yeah, they have the sundown and cut.
But she doesn't know that. He didn't give her any information. They just beamed up.
She read the report. She said, so that's probably in the report.
Okay, that's a good point.
Which means she's insensitive.
Well, and
Can't she see he's with another hoe?
But don't you love it? On the other planet, he's like, I owe it to her to tell her to her face what's going on
Yeah.
with. And then he gets up there and he's like, "Not now."
Yeah,
I don't have
I got to
time.
her face after I talked to this girl right here. What's up, girl?
I'm
I'm gonna show you your guy because you're
Hold-
about to say,
No.
"Oh God."
Hold on, I'm taking her to the bar first. He took her to 10 forward, right? Like,
I'm knee deep in ass. Come back in a half hour.
come on.
You're ruining my game, Doc.
Yeah. Damn.
Come on, bro. Actually, to this point, Picard, minus the episode with Beverly, has come across pretty like non-interested in any one.
He's got a job to do.
Yeah, he does.
He doesn't do it very well. Frankly.
Actually, I think he's all right.
I don't. So far, he has not impressed me as a captain. No.
He's
he-
very.
Yeah.
What if Riker and Kirk went to that planet at the same time?
Oh gosh,
Oh my god. Yeah. I just.
there would be so many STDs on that planet.
Like,
Thank you.
who would come out on top? Riker or Kirk? I think Kirk.
In what the Wilt Chamberlain
Yeah,
Memorial
yeah.
ass contest.
Yeah. Although Riker might be more open to other things.
I don't
Riker's from a different era, so
Yeah.
he's more open to.
I wouldn't imagine either of them are very close-minded sexually.
Yeah.
I could see that for Kirk. Kirk would be. Kirk strikes me as the old school 1970s alpha male kind of a guy, where Riker's more like the whole love is love, bro.
As you'll find out in a later episode.
I think that I that would be an excellent competition. I don't know who would come out on top though.
Here's a Patreon exclusive that we'll never do. A fake sportscast to Riker and Kirk going to competition.
Write that down.
Yeah.
Can we rate the episodes now?
Sure, why not?
All right. Let's start with Lonely Among Us. Lonely Among Us.
What did I give the first 3 episodes?
First
Encounter, Code of Honor, and the other one.
4, 3, 5, 1.
Okay.
3, 2.
Okay.
I think Code of Honor is the outlier. It's trash. It's super racist. I don't think we're gonna come across another one. But this is a 2. This episode.
So Lonely Among Us, I have is 1.5.
I have a 1.5 as well for that one.
It's not good.
No, it's not.
Justice.
I thought this
Your
was
scale is skewed.
Yeah, I mean, clearly, visually, this is the best episode we've seen.
The graphics were great.
I do think, in a more deeper aspect, I do feel like it posed more of a
You're right.
question.
This is one of the first ones that really.
I think it was the very first one. I'm gonna give this one a 4.
Okay. I do appreciate your analysis that it did propose more of a dilemma.
Mm-hmm.
The first part of this episode, I just hated very much. So I'm going 1.
Wow.
I hated the beginning of this episode so much. I'm watching it going, this is painful. And it got better as it went on, but my hatred for the beginning.
Yeah. How many times are they going to do the mysterious god being?
Oh, they'll do it more.
Oh, trust me, they will do it more. I give this one a 3-5. Because we finally actually had something to talk about.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like, this is the first one we had something really to talk about.
And Worf was like, these girls are fragile. I will break them.
And
if she dies, she dies.
And they did tease the opportunity of killing Wesley off.
That's true.
They did. They got close. They did not finish the deal, but they got close. And that's something.
I bet you Riker finished the deal.
Maybe.
What, with Wesley?
All times. No, on that planet.
Oh,
Do you
absolutely.
feel
He
like-
was dehydrated.
Don't you feel like that would be a violation of the Prime Directive?
Nah.
What?
No.
Tearing into some ass?
Are they okay with it?
That is the Prime Directive.
Gosh, why am I?
Prime Directive is have at it, soldier.
No, I don't. I feel
Kirk,
I feel like
set the precedent.
I
You know
feel
what
like
they call
this
it? They call it the Prime D. That's what they call it.
Prime D erection. That's actually rule number 2.
Oh gosh,
We are children.
we are children. That we are.
Yep.
But you can't. I mean, you can't send us to a sex planet and just be like, be cool with it, man.
Yeah. We are children. You can find us over on YouTube. You can see our pretty faces. I'll work on videos at some point so we can see Nick's faces. We're making him want to die. You can call or text us at 734-494-0980 and tell Joe how beautiful he is.
You can. He would like that.
Yeah, but
And he is beautiful.
But you know what the sad
Nick,
thing
you're beautiful
is?
too, man. I don't give you enough credit for that. I apologize. I usually flirt with Joe.
Thank you.
You're just married and I thought it was disrespectful.
Thank you. Love you guys.
Put the tongue back in your mouth for the love of God.
Love you guys.
Because it's you're
Yeah, you really.
Okay, sorry, I'm getting drool everywhere. I love you guys so much.
oh my Lord.
They've always been able to call a show and say we're beautiful. They just don't
Because maybe they're saying something without saying it.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't know. Like they could really, the last 2 episodes, it could be like, these guys are just a bunch of misogynist pigs, and I don't ever want to listen to the show again.
You might be right. We swear we're not usually like this. But if
Listen,
we had
we're-
better content,
Yeah.
we'd be better.
Yeah. Blame.
Yeah, we're
blame
really just
Roddenberry.
trying to fight through this episode right
Blame
now.
Roddenberry.
Yes.
Yeah, really, honestly, true.
That's why he killed himself.
Which okay, here's another really quick point, right? We argue a lot about the more recent.
Epstein.
We don't argue, but Trek fans argue a lot. Sorry, my phone is dinging. I don't know if you heard it on the radio. But anyways,
Radio.
their car radio. If they're listening to it on their car radio.
Ah, sorry, my foot's caught.
So Trek fans today argue about like the sexualization of Star Trek, right? Like Enterprise, overly sexual. Voyager with 7 of 9 in the cat suit. Discovery did a lot of that too, like with some of their sexuality. Really, this is kind of what Star Trek is.
Well, initially, once they got rid of Roddenberry, it cleaned up a little bit
Yeah, it did.
for a
Yeah,
while.
It's like Roddenberry's excuse to like.
Well, he was still living in the 60s.
Yeah, he was.
He hadn't moved past the 60s with his visual style, we'll just say.
Yes, exactly. And what his thinking of what a free society looks like.
Because he was very much thinking, I believe, that like free sexuality and all this stuff. He was the 60s mentality.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good man. Even though I just said he killed himself.
Yes, you did.
You did.
At least you didn't give him the beaties.
I didn't.
No, I gave him the autonomy to make decisions. He's a decision maker, clearly.
Okay.
Clearly.
Joe, where are we at on Twitter?
At Cardassians Pod.
Where are we at on Instagram, Nick?
Keeping_up_Cardassians.
Where are we at on Patreon, fellas?
Cardassians.
Patreon.com/keeping up with the Cardassians.
Yes, we are.
There's all kinds of nonsense on
$2
there.
and $5 tiers. We'd love to have you.
Hey, if any of this piqued your interest, you will absolutely love Patreon.
If you hated these episodes, don't go on Patreon.
Yeah. It might be a bit much.
No, I think really our Patreon episodes aren't like crazy. Don't get us wrong, but
There were a few.
We're more free with talking about stuff on Patreon.
We do get more personal there, too.
We do get very personal. You'll find more about our personal lives in there, and sometimes we just like to have fun. We do like game show type stuff in there. Yeah. We do music videos,
we run the gamut.
TV shows.
It's a wide variety.
Everything we've
Yeah.
done.
Movie trailer.
We've done a lot. We have done a lot actually, and we're planning out our next thing now. So it's going to be fun.
Absolutely.
What's our next thing?
We can't say it here.
Yeah, we got that's a development. That's a long-term development thing.
Show meeting. I know we're going to have to figure out a short-term project to bridge the gap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I tease one thing that we're doing?
Yes.
And it is probably the best thing we will ever do on Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
Our Apple taste test.
Yes.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Apple taste test. We're going to do an Apple taste test between Fiji, Pink Ladies, Mount Fuji. Fiji. Why did I say
Fiji's
Fiji?
the water. I
Yeah,
think.
Fiji's the water. Mount Fuji. Red Delicious.
Honey Crisp.
Honey Crisp.
And was that it?
I mean,
it'll be a blind taste.
you'll
test.
have to go to a real market for apples.
Yeah,
So
I'm
you
gonna
can't you can't go to like a Kroger's.
No. Although don't rag on Kroger. They
Yeah.
usually have a decent variety.
They have a decent.
That's where I got those pink ladies I was raving about, where this whole thing came from.
Yeah, Pink Ladies are good.
Yeah. All right. Wrap it up.
I'm wrapping it up. Thanks for keeping up with us, folks. We hope you enjoyed our episodes because we did not enjoy the Next Generation episodes, but we're getting through them.
We are.
And it's still fun. And it's fun to see how far Trek has come.
Oh, it's definitely fun.
I think that's what I really enjoy most about this. So continue with us on our journey in the next weeks as we continue our Star Trek The Next Generation review. It's been great keeping up with you. This was Nick.
This is Rob.
This is Joe.
So anticlimactic. Bye.
Kind of. Did you get that?
I don't know who's recording.
Did you record that part or no?
I'm recording.
Are you recording? Keep that recording.
No.
Get off my bridge.